Yeah, Amrita, we are live on Facebook, so y'all can start your session.
We're ready?
Yeah.
We're ready to start?
Yes, Amrita.
Welcome, everybody. We're so happy to have all of you here. I can see such an enthusiastic response, and that's what keeps all of us going. So, I want to tell you that ECA is always looking at topics that are relevant for preschools, teachers, parents, children. So let us know if you want any webinars on any of the topics. Let me start by introducing myself. I'm the founder of EduCart. My name is Amrita Rajpal. EduCart is a company that provides curriculum, school setup, franchising solutions, and teacher development programs for preschools. We've set up more than 200 preschools, and I've been here for more than 20 years. And I'm also the ECA territory head, and looking forward to having all of you here. Right. So let's look at introducing all our panelists. First, we've got an expert panel who's going to be talking about how can preschools and teachers effectively use this time in professional training and development. So I'm going to start with Ritu. Ritu holds an experience of 18 years in the field of education. She is the founder director for Little Oaks Preschool and Activity Center, Mumbai. She is a counselor, therapist, and a life coach. The other accreditations also make her a certified graphologist, graphoanalyst, and art therapist. Currently, she is pursuing her specialization in ADHD. She also works as a consultant for various preschools and trains teachers pan-India. She is the treasurer of the ECA committee, Mumbai. Welcome, Ritu.
Thank you so much, Amrita. All right, so with your question.
No, Ritu,
Yeah.
let me introduce everybody.
Okay.
Yes. So, Vanita. Hi, Vanita. Welcome. So, talking about Vanita, she's got an experience of more than 3 decades. And she's a visionary who believes in experiential learning and grooming young minds to be global leaders. She's a principal and she's established strong educational institutions with CBSE, ICSE, and IGCSE curriculum. She set up 4 schools: Green Fingers Global School, Khargar, Billabong Malad, Vibgyor Airoli, and Empyrean School in Khargar. Right now, presently, she's a principal of Vishwa Jyoth High School. So welcome, Vanita.
Thank you, Amrita. Great to be
You're
here.
also the joint secretary of the ECA committee, which is very important. And I didn't mention that. Yes. So now we are to Nidhi. Hi, Nidhi.
Hello.
Nidhi is an early childhood educator and she's worked in the education sector for over 14 years. She's held various positions: teacher, center manager, ECC, teacher trainer, principal. She's worked with Kangaroo Kids, Tree House, and Little Brooks Early Learning Center. Currently, she's a freelance educator and a professional storyteller. And she is also a committee member of the ECA, Mumbai.
Thank you so much, Amrita.
And now we come to Geeta Punjabi. Geeta Punjabi has a wide experience of 28 years in the field of education and chess. She is founder and director of Theo Kids and Chanakya Chess Club. She has developed curriculum for nearly 150 schools in India and overseas. She is an international arbiter in chess, certified brain gym instructor, and kinesiology from Canada. She is the secretary of ECA Committee, Mumbai. So Geeta has been in education for 20 years, but I know from 30 years. So it's wonderful having you here, Geeta.
Thank you, Amrita. It was such a pleasure to have to be here, and thanks a lot to you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure.
Great. Before I am done with thanking and introducing the panelists, there's one more person I have to talk about, and that is Harsha. She is the territory head of Bhavnagar, and she is handling all the back end for us. So Harsha, thank you so much. This
Thank
webinar
you.
is because of you.
Thank you so much, Amrita. Thank you so much.
Great. So now let's get to the question. You know, so talking about the question, we're living in very uncertain times, and uncertain times make us look at what is ahead and make us look at solutions. So this is a unique situation. There are, you know, earlier we had very few people who homeschooled their children. Now it looks like the whole globe is homeschooling their children. We're also realizing that teachers need to be equipped to deal with this situation. So, how can preschools and teachers effectively use this time in professional training and development? We have an expert panel which I've introduced you all to, and they're going to give us their views on this. So, we are going to be starting with Ritu. Ritu, the question for you is, what are the areas of professional development that you think is required for today's teachers?
Hi, Amrita. So with the question, areas of development. See, there are a lot of areas which one need to develop in the current situation. The first thing for a teacher is adaptability, flexibility, because previously we were sitting inside a confined, closed classroom, and now we are out in the open because every preschool is like an online preschool right now. So we are out in the houses. So adaptability and flexibility is one of the main important development that which teachers and the preschool need to get into. Also confidence, because again I would say the same thing. Previously we were in a confined classroom, a closed area classroom. Now we are out in the open, inside the houses. You know, the laptops and the phones are connected with speakers, so everybody in the house is listening to what the teacher is saying. The curriculum might be amazing, but if there is no confidence, also the ability to manage online uh, what is happening right now. The teachers and the school need to equip themselves with online facilities and online attachments. Uh, Innovations, understanding of technology is something also which schools and the teachers need to equip themselves with. They need to be team players now. One person cannot do this. The whole team, the whole school needs to come together and work on this, because everybody is equipped with something which is very good. Communication needs to be very transparent between the school and the teachers and even the parents. It's a vicious cycle. So the school needs to come forward and take that also. And it needs to be a continuous learning process now. You cannot sit with what you had, the knowledge. We have to keep equipping ourselves and keep learning with maximum things that we can. Need to be more organized, need to be more innovative, and the commitment level is supposed to be really high now.
Yes, I can see that you've covered a lot of points which are really relevant. We've got technology, we've got, you know, teachers being the face in the classroom. Yes, thank you, Ritu, for your thoughts. Vanita, what do you have to say? Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes, Amrita, I think apart from what Ritu has said, which I completely agree to, I think we also have to be prepared for the unknown, because, you know, never know what is going to happen with this distant learning. Second thing, I think we will have to practice more restraint, hear more, talk less. And, you know, we cannot be negative or derogatory, because understand we are not only teaching our children, we are also teaching our children in the presence of their parents. So words like probably a naughty child, you're a very naughty child, probably we would have to replace it by probably saying an energetic child, or a child who's being stubborn in a class. There are times when the teachers do tend to say things like that. So probably a stubborn child would become a free-spirited child. So I think, and also we will have to be prepared how to keep our children more engaged, because, you know, they are looking for an overfeed of energy. Information. I'm sorry. they're all looking for an overfeed of information because they are sitting idle and they would want us to be imparting as much as possible. So yes, we will have to organize ourselves to be prepared for the unknown too.
Absolutely. I think that's such a relevant point. Things are so uncertain. We don't know what is happening next. We were not prepared for this. And now we have to prepare for something which we don't even know that's going to happen. Quite like when we think of children and we think that they're going to grow older, in 20 years later, we don't know what the situation is going to be, right? So preparing them from the unknown, for the unknown, and preparing ourselves for the unknown. I think both are very relevant. And you know, Vanita, that point which you brought about communication, but how do we communicate? You know, we need to watch ourselves because right now, everybody is in a situation where they're dealing with their own emotions. Children also are dealing with their own emotions. So, you know, restraining ourselves and seeing the children also emotionally happy. Very, very relevant today. Yes, Geeta, what do you have to say to this?
Yes, I feel the teacher has to pay right now when by coming on online platform, lot of focus on content. What kind of content she is giving to the child? It has to be very interesting. It has to be very innovative to keep the child engaged all the time. Plus, I feel also there has to be a meaningful collaboration with the parents, where the parents are not so much burdened with work, and it is divided between equally between them, because the poor parents are doing the work, the household work also, there are no maids around, and all the, and with the additional homework and the school work. So the teachers have to come out in an innovative way where the child can learn through those innovations, and he will look forward to the class the next day the teacher is going to hold. And lot of positivity has to come in the talks, lot of positivity has to come, and everything should be taught. Since we are talking about early childhood, lot of attention has to be given to music and movement, exercising, fitness, and through play, through music, the teachers have to teach the children more as much as possible to keep them engaged and to keep them totally informed about, and to project what they want to teach them. I have to say that, because rest of them, the other two have really covered very well.
So what I'm understanding is that you're saying teachers need to develop themselves in music and movement and learning how to keep children engaged.
Right.
Also, teachers need to form a bigger and better bond with parents right now. Is that the crux of everything that you have said? Yes, wonderful, very nice. Tell me, Nidhi, what is the need of the hour today?
So I think, most of them have covered everything. But yes, one more point which I would like to point out is, as a teacher, when you are conducting a class online, do make sure that, when you want to convey a certain concept or a certain pointer, the materials that you would want to use are available, easily available at home, because parents do get hassled that they're not able to go out and get, stuff. So yes, that's something they also feel comfortable. They also feel happy that, okay, no, it's not something to be worried about, because children are very particular. What the teacher says, they want to do exactly that. They want to take exactly that material. So yes, this is one of the pointers, that when you want to do certain activity with them, apart from what all you have discussed, I think everybody has covered the entire topic. So yes, this was one thing which I also face when I am conducting my workshops. So it's equally important to consider that point, that what you want to have is easily available with the family, with the children. Yeah.
I think right now, what is the need of the hour is ingenuity. No?
Absolutely.
Getting
Absolutely.
creative.
Getting
Finding
creative.
materials that you can use at home. In fact, I
Absolutely.
was talking to a friend of mine who owns a preschool, and she was telling me that one of the teachers took cushions and she piled them on and had the, she demonstrated to the children how they could jump high, and she taught the concepts of high and low, and she took length into consideration. So children learned all these mathematical concepts of measurement just with a bunch of cushions which were lying around in their house. So everybody has cushions and pillows, and they could teach innovatively just using
Absolutely.
this kind of material. Yes,
Yeah.
I guess that is a skill also that teachers need to develop. These are the areas
Absolutely.
which are broad.
Yes.
Also, now when I'm looking at everybody, about what you all have said, what is coming to me is teachers were in a classroom. They were not seen as such. They didn't have to pay so much attention to the way they looked, the way they were groomed, the way they communicated, you know. So many things just went. But right now, they are being watched. So that confidence, as Ritu rightly said, that is very required right now, to build on your confidence, to be able to communicate with children and while you're being watched. And also use ingenuity, find creative resources. Look at technology. I mean, technology is like the need of the hour now. Everybody's only using technology. We are communicating with technology. So wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for your insights. We are looking at the next question. So many of you own preschools, many of you work with teams, and many of you interact with people around, which holds a whole big resource of educators and teachers. But for yourself, what are you looking for yourself in professional development right now? So we'll start with Nidhi.
Yeah. Thanks, Amrita. So currently what I am looking out for is, I haven't been so techno savvy till now. And that's something that I'm really learning. How do you use, for example, you have your Zoom and there are various, tools that you can use. How do you use a whiteboard? How do you want to, if you want to show a video, how do you do it? So I think using whatever tools are available to the maximum and effectively, so that the child or whoever is attending your class gets the maximum out of it. So that's one thing which I am really working on. And I hope that, uh, during this period, I become as techno savvy as possible so that I am able to make my classes as interactive as possible. And of course, yes, uh, try and search. Right now we are so blessed that because of technology we are able to get information just like this, and there is so much information available. So understanding what kind of information is good or is relevant, and using that, trying to use that in your lessons. And of course, the last thing that I would say is, how do I make sure that I touch one, even if I have done probably a 1 hour session and I'm doing it with 10 children, I make sure that I have touched at least one. Every child has taken something from, that particular lesson. Yes. So this is something which I would like to work
You're
on.
basically looking at emoting through technology and touching children's
Absolutely.
lives. Okay, very nice.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Vanita, what is it for you?
Well, as Nidhi said, even I am very bad at technology. So I think as a person who is also managing teams, I would want to understand the technology better, and very importantly, understand the privacy norms because of the platform like Zoom, which we are using. A few days back, we had a teacher taking a lesson, and somebody entered into the class, and all those things were happening. So that's when I realized that it is very important for us to make our teachers understand the norms of privacy, whom to lock, whom to allow into the class. I think that would be my first concern. Secondly, I think would want how to tell my teachers to make measurable and accessible LPs, because in this norms of distant learning, it is very important that when we are making our LPs, we need to make them in such a way that we are also able to assess them in a better way in this age of the distant learning which we are doing. Uh, Another thing which probably I would want to equip myself would be trying to keep up the engagement level of the child, because and to create and to be able to cultivate a creative mindset of the teachers so that they can make the engagement or involvement of the children at a higher level, so that
No,
the
but
class.
right now, Vanita, the question is, what are you looking for yourself? For the
That's
teachers,
what
we will come to later. But right now, for yourself, you're looking at
I would
using
I would
technology.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would want technology, and I would want to be able to equip my teachers with all what I have said, to make the children more involved and more creative.
Wonderful. So I guess that right now technology is paramount for you right now. That is your learning. What about you, Ritu?
Um, Technology again, yes, I'm also very bad with it. So that is a prime thing. Um, Understanding how to use PPT is what I'm like right now learning, how to make PPTs online and show it through Zoom. Because when you want the kids to be engaged, a teacher talking for 2 hours is not going to engage the children. So looking at that first I need to equip myself and then I can train ahead. Or I need to find courses for my teachers is what I am doing right now, equipping myself as a school also. Where can my teachers go for courses sitting in their house? So this is exactly what I'm looking at. Also, I'm looking at micro expression courses where, because right now this kids are going to look at my face or the face of the teacher. There is nothing else on the screen visible. So the expression of the teacher is something where I'm really studying deeply right now, that what can they do in regards to modulation of voice or expressions, or how they are presenting themselves. So first need to understand how to do it myself, then to equip them how to constant make it sure that the kid is sitting there for an hour, 1.5 hour, whatever time that we decide. So yes, media, social media is also something I'm looking at. How do I use this platform as much as possible to keep the kids engaged? Because right now, I don't can't imagine how the parents are managing the house chores and the children. It is very difficult. So how maximum I can help the parents right now? Me and my team, how can we maximum help the parents? Is what I'm self developing myself and the school.
I'm loving this idea of micro expression. That whole thing of micro expression also showing that everything which is here is being seen over there,
Absolutely.
right? And this is the only thing which is communicating your excitement, your happiness, your feelings, your emotions, and the teacher using this effectively. Your voice, your face, your gestures, and all this making a difference in your teaching engagement. Very nice. Ritu, you must share with everybody over here what you have found out and which links they can go to and how they can learn this micro expression, because I'm sure everyone is really very curious about this.
Absolutely.
Please do share all your knowledge. This is a learning community where everybody is here to share and impart knowledge. So wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Amrita.
What about you, Geeta? Tell me. What are
Yeah.
you looking for your own self development?
So I'm looking at my own self by reading more. As all three of them said, technology. Even I'm not that good at technology, but I'm trying to hone my skills at that. So I'll not repeat all of that what they said. That includes my what my thoughts also are. But right now I'm exploring through all the books to gain my knowledge more about early childhood, and I'm also the all the books which ECA has given, which are really good. For example, how do we teach kids parikrama? I'm going through all these books, and how holistic education and learning with puppets happens. So that is really helping me to bring back all the memories of my early learning, and I'm loving it. And I'm trying to participate in more webinars and conferences, which is really opening up new horizons, totally new horizons. And it's like new platforms I'm able to engage in with this new webinars. And also there are a lot of free sites available by when we connect to them, we really can do a lot of courses. I'm also looking at doing some courses which Harvard is offering free. So I would also like to share with other teachers also all the online platforms and courses which they can do. And the best part of it, as I told before also, I love music and movement with through which I want to teach the children. So I'm doing drumming at present, drumming, online drumming with other people. And drumming benefits in intangible ways, right from developing motor skills to harmonizing the left brain with right brain. And it improves creativity, listening skills, which is required at this moment when we are doing online work. And also it engages and holds children's interest. So to improve my memory, concentration, alertness, self-esteem, I'm really looking forward to drumming. And it also inculcates teamwork and cooperation, because all of us, we when we start drumming together, me and my friends online, we start together on Zoom, and it's a cooperative effort which releases stress, elevates mood, and it results in better emotional and mental health, what people are going through right now. It's a very interesting form of self expression and very enriching as well as fun.
So, Geeta, sorry to interject, but is this a thing that teachers can learn for themselves online, drumming?
Of
Yes.
course,
Yes.
learn and include in the curriculum also, and it's
No,
really
but is this something right now that other people can also learn? Can you share links that people
I
can go on?
definitely can share
So
links.
wonderful, because there's a nice thing about teachers also wanting to release stress, because we are also dealing with a lot of things as educators. We are also managing our houses, we're managing schoolwork, and this will be a nice release to
I would
even bring it
also
in. But wonderful if you can just share the links so everybody else can also join this
also
platform.
one more thing I want to add, Amrita, just for a minute. I'll take a minute. Also, I'm doing brain gym, online brain gym, which is also helping me a lot. It really integrates your right brain, left brain, and brings about your full focus and attention. So even if teachers want to know how to do the brain gym online, I can definitely guide everyone. Thank you so much, Amrita.
Surely. So we'll get back in at the end. We'll keep 5 minutes aside, and then we're going to have all these micro expressions, drumming, and all the links which are going to be there so that everybody can avail of all these things. Yes. So wonderful. I can see that this whole new world opening up for even us as human beings. It's not only as teachers, but also as human beings. And another great thing is revisiting, your old theories, approaches, reading the essay books, and seeing how it is, looking at yourself as a whole, seeing how you emote. So there is great learning happening from even our experts out here. So wonderful. Thank you so much for your views. Let me look at our next questions. So right now, I'm also getting questions like, what skill-based trainings do you want to propagate? So we are doing our things. We also require what skill-based trainings are you propagating? Can you share with other people? What should they be doing? Anyone who wants to
Yeah,
start?
I can
Me?
start. I can
Ritu?
start. Yeah.
Yes.
Communication, one of the important skills, because again, I would come back to the same point that we are there in the houses now. So communication is one of the most important key skill which each and every teacher needs to equip themselves with. Because if we fail in communicating, let it be a concept, let it be a rhyme, everything is with communication. Communication previously used to happen from head to toe. You know, the body used to talk. Now the body is not going to talk. Your voice is what is going to reach them. Again, I will come to micro expression. It is just the face which is going to reach. It is the involuntary facial display, of expression which is going to reach. So communication and your face is one of the most important skills which has to add up with confidence. There has to be confidence in each and every teacher now. You cannot, there are always two teachers in a preschool class. If you set up, you see, there are 2 or 3 teachers. There is one teacher taking the front seat, other two taking the back seat. Now this is not going to work. Everybody needs to take a front seat now. It is not possible for one to run the whole setup. So everybody needs to work on the minor skills that they have. So for me, this is the most important, the communication and
So
this
what I'm getting
important
from you
skill.
is pedagogy is as important as communication right now.
Absolutely,
So both
absolutely.
are equally important.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
absolutely. So yes, Vanita, tell me.
Well, if what Ritu just said about the communication skills, so it is also very important to learn the skills of parent communication, of how to communicate everything to the parents. My other concern would be how to give feedback on assessments, because I've seen a lot of teachers unable to do that. So I think one skill they should now get is feedback on assessments. And also, very important thing I would want a skill based training to be given would be gaining an insight about the well being indicators of the children, whether it is mental or physical. So, mentally, also, we should be understanding what is the well being of the child. And since we are at a distance, I think the physical well-being of a child would also be a part of it. Okay, now my dear, you've grown taller, or you really look at you. I mean, like, these kind of physical changes which take place in the child when we are at a distance, and when the teacher praises, the children really get very happy about it. So probably something like that would be of importance. And as I said earlier, measurable as and LPs where assessment is possible instantly is something I would want a skill based training on for the teachers to write their own LPs.
Okay, but right now, when I'm looking at preschool, Vanita, I'm looking at teachers having 20-minute sessions with their children, because we have 40 minutes maximum time which a child should look at a screen. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, assessment would be the child is having a good time. You
Uh,
know, right now,
yeah,
if I'm looking at a below 6 year age group, they're going through so much mental turmoil. They're going through so much uncertainty. You know, parents used to be at work or they were doing other things. There's a routine which is gone absolutely askew, and they're dealing with all that. So having your routine set and having a 20-minute session with your teacher, for many it would be the first time teacher also, because teachers are not, you know, the schools have not started for many. So this would be a first time teacher, or your previous teacher would be coming in to teach. So getting the child to enjoy the class, having an assessment, yes, and knowing that the child is enjoying could be an assessment that
yeah,
the child is
true.
looking forward to tomorrow's class,
Absolutely.
right? Is that what you mean by assessment?
Yeah,
Because
true.
yeah, because right now I am suggesting and recommending to every parent, you know, your ABCs will happen, your 1 2 3s will happen. It may happen a little later and will not happen in exactly the time that it needs to happen. The child needs to be mentally and physically happy, just like Vanita said. Have that happen and have them be in a safe space of mental and physical well-being, and enjoy being wanting this transition of getting back into a school routine. Right. So wonderful. Thank you so much for that whole assessment about how the child should be physically and mentally. Tell me, Nidhi.
Yeah, one more thing which I think the teachers can work on is time management. Because as you said, we as educators are also at home doing multiple things. So yes, as a teacher, and to prepare your class sitting at home, I think you need to do more preparation. You need to do more research because you do not have the materials available which are there in your classroom. So how do you make it more interactive? So this is where time management really comes in, because you will have to put in more efforts to make sure that, you know, whatever you're doing is so interactive and interesting for the children that they're happy to be in front of the screen and to, you know, to be there for that class. And so they look forward to the next one. So I think this is one of the skills that, yes, we all need to develop, not only the teachers. I think everybody needs to develop that time management skill, which would give
Wonderful.
the teacher more time to, you know, work on what they want to impart.
Correct. Geeta, we'll
Yeah.
make it very quick because we have only few minutes left. So I also want to give some links to parents.
Forward from Nidhi, I would say that we have to be more, the teachers have to be learning organizing skills also, organization, and also critical thinking skills and social emotional skills also need a deep insight into. And we have to take the learning beyond the classroom with visual aids, with different things, trying to do the best with the kids. Rest, everybody has covered everything.
So wonderful. Right now, teachers, from what I'm getting a crux of all our expert talk, I'm looking at attitudes, you know, being built. I'm also looking at grooming because teachers are now the face over there. I'm looking at pedagogical skills. You know, how do you teach? Why are you teaching? And how is it effective without resources?
Yes.
All of us have left our resources in school, and you know, doing things which are ingenious and, you know, using your own materials at home and getting creative with that. Yes. So I can see there's a whole gamut out here. I'm just thinking of anything else that I've missed out. Yes, of course, we're using it, using our voice, using our creativity, our faces, and everything. And we have to learn to use all those things effectively. Correct. I'm also right now going to be speaking that Educat has come out with a new product. It's called Training in a Box. And knowing that teachers cannot be going and learning, you know, having interface, talk and meeting with people while we learn. We're also looking at a video-based module, and that can be conducted by the school in their own space and at their own time. So it covers relevant topics like phonics, literacy, STEM, attitudes of teachers. It's self-sufficient. It comes with materials to conduct the training. It's accredited by ECA. So this is something which schools can take on and have their teachers also develop themselves. So wonderful. So right now, since we have few minutes left, I'm going to look at some questions. So one person, Radha, has said, I conduct after school activities for children from 1.5 to 6 years. Please guide how to go about. So I think maybe I can just tell Radha, the 20 minutes is 2 hours is the amount of screen time that a parent can take, out of which they have other things that they're viewing online. They're talking to parents and talking to other extended family members. So that leaves about 20 minutes of your time. Vanita or Nidhi, would you like to answer this? How would you like to take a 20-minute after school class? What kind of classes would Radha be able to do?
Well, in our school, we have started, Amrita, we've started dance classes, you know, which has a module of, which is a 30-minute module in which 5 minutes are briefing time, 20 minutes is the teaching time, and then finally 5 minutes is the time to tell them, okay, how did you enjoy and all that. So that's one course we have started with our children, and we've seen that they are really learning it very well.
Very nice. That's such a good,
And Amrita here.
Tell me, Geeta.
Yeah, so we can also do chess online, 30 minutes, and we can, chess is also doing very well, which we are doing in many schools, online classes, and they can go to chess.com and play. And also we are conducting tournaments online, virtual tournaments on chess.com. And also storytelling can be done very well.
Storytelling.
Class.
Yes.
storytelling, and also
Okay, one more question. Sorry, but we're very short of time. We have 5 minutes. So we'll try to cover as many questions as we can. Teaching preschool children writing letters is my concern. Can you guide? Ritu, can you take that, please?
Absolutely. See, there can be a few videos which teachers can shoot. The fine motors is one of the most important area where needs to be developed when you talk about writing. So a lot of activities can be designed for children in regards to pinching. So this pinching is very important, where the muscles of the fingers and the thumb is supposed to be index finger, and the thumb is supposed to be really strong when you start with the fine motors. So activities in regards to how to develop that, and then going to alphabets using pulses and flour and clay and so many things available in the house. Activities in regards to things available in the house, how to develop the alphabets. Air writing. There is a lot which teachers can develop videos, tutorials for the children and pass these tutorials in regards to separate things, bifurcating, classifying things in a different way, using things available in the house.
Wonderful. Basically,
So I think
I'm also adding to this. These are the two fingers. These are the three fingers which are used in writing.
Yeah.
You know, these two fingers have nerve endings which send impulses to the brain. So when you use these two fingers to air write or to write in some sensory material, it sends impulses and creates pathways in the brain. So writing even in your pulses, in a tub full of pulses, in a tub full of rice, anyway, is the first step that you do. After that,
Can I
yeah.
add one thing? See, there is one activity which we had done for our kids where we had asked our parents to write alphabets inside the bathroom walls and had given the kids give pitchkaris or water pistols or, even a tumbler to just pour water. So even this is, going to strengthen their two fingers, thumb, as well as recognition of alphabet. It's one of the fun activities which you can design several activities like this. This is one of the fun which our kids loved it.
Absolutely. Viewing this visual representation is something which is very, very important. Okay, now I think we have done with our time. And thank you, everybody. Thank you first to all of you for being over here, contributing with your ideas, contributing with, all the knowledge that you have for everyone else. And thank you, everyone, for the participants. Thank you for being here. Thank you for partaking in this discussion. Because of you, we are here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was such a pleasure. Yes. Harsha, thank you for all the back end.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.